Happy Thursday, everyone in the You Are Worthy Network. Hope you're having a tremendous week so far. I am excited to be with you today. I'm excited to be with you guys every time we go live. Um, I would be naive to think that you guys watch every single interview, although I'd love for you to, obviously, but I know you have lives. Um, so I want to reiterate something that happened yesterday to one, praise God, two, to thank each one of you. If you didn't catch it, we eclipsed 5,000 members yesterday. It's not a small deal. 5,000 members in 4 months. I am so humbled, so honored, and so blessed that you guys make the group. Without you guys, there's no group. And so I want to thank each one of you for your encouragement, for your support, for sharing the network with your friends and family. I pray and hope you're getting great value of it. I try to bring on wonderful guests that both are successful in what they do, but also are very relatable and don't have a pretense about themselves, that have been through things in life, just like all of us go through, because we all go through things in life. It's a matter of being vulnerable about it. That's really where the sweet sauce is, right? Being vulnerable with those things. And we talk in the You Are Worthy Network with our guest about the things they've accomplished and who they've served, and we're going to do that here in a minute. Um, but it's what makes us all relatable and human to one another is sharing those times where it wasn't so great and how we got through it. And so I hope you find value in all that. That's my heart anyway. Anyway, I just wanted to say if you didn't catch the interview yesterday where we celebrated the milestone of 5,000, I just wanted you to hear it from me in this interview that I hope you will watch. So enough about that. We'll move on. I'm excited to introduce you to our guest today. And for some strange reason, my phone keeps timing out sooner than it's supposed to, but we will not let technology defeat us today. My next guest is someone who brings equal parts heart, energy, and leadership wisdom to everything she does. Tanya Doucet, affectionately known as Coach T, is a certified leadership coach with Maxwell Leadership, DISC consultant, and certified timeline therapy NLP practitioner. With over 20 years experience in the insurance industry, Tanya has walked the path from executive administrative assistant to leadership trailblazer, helping leaders grow, communicate effectively, and build engaged, high-performing teams, including Thomas, who now leads a thriving sales team at Hypo Group Estate in Nigeria. Did I say that right? On the lake with confidence and reduced turnover. She now uses her intuitive, no-fluff coaching style to transform leaders across industries, combining strategy with soul. She's also a mom and a stepmom of 6 young adults, a former Zumba instructor, and a firm believer that leadership starts from within. Today, she's here to share how true leadership starts from within and how embracing that truth can transform the way we lead others. Tanya, welcome to the You Are Worthy Network.
Thank you for having me, Steve.
Oh, my honor to have you. It was great getting to know you before I guess it was a week or two ago that we had a discovery Zoom, and I just appreciate your heart for the people you serve and all that you're doing to serve. So tell us a little bit about yourself. I was challenged when I met Tanya. She didn't like personally challenge me, but when we were trying to set our time to connect, um, I was like, I had personally never heard. I've talked to people in Australia and England and Netherlands, but I'd never met anybody in AST time. So tell us what AST time is and what part of the world that's in.
Yes. So AST is Atlantic Standard Time. So I am located in Dieppe, New Brunswick in Canada. So it's on the East Coast, near Nova Scotia, and south of Ontario and Quebec. So we're kind of this little province on the East Coast, and that's where we're located.
I really need to go back and check out the map because it just seems like that would be Eastern Standard Time still. But but
Well,
smarter people than me drew those lines.
there you go.
Um, Tell us a little bit about that area. Is it like I think? Is it cold this time of year? What's it look like in the spring and the summer? Tell us a little bit about that area for people that don't know it.
Yeah, it is. It can get cold in the winter for sure. Minus 40 have been seen a few
Mm,
times.
mm.
Um, right now, it's probably closer to, when I say minus 40, I'm talking Celsius. So a similar weather as Maine, in the States. So very similar. We're just above Maine. So very similar weather. So it gets cold. In the winter, we have a few weeks, maybe I would say a month and a half of really nice weather. So that would be, it can be plus 25, plus 30 Celsius. So we have a nice summer still.
Okay, you're making me want to go get my winter coat. Just talking about it. I mean, it's given me trauma. It's like, and I know the area is beautiful. I've been to Maine because you use Maine as a point of reference. I've been to Maine one time and people ask me, "Oh, do you remember how beautiful it was?" And I'm like, "Well, I wish I could tell you that. It was in early February, many, many years ago, and it was literally, I won't get into all the details of why I was up there. I was up there with a friend and I was providing transportation to him. I was a lot younger, and we were in Portland, Maine during a blizzard.
Oh my
So
goodness.
all I can tell you about Maine is I remember white. I
Yeah.
mean, sideways snow is all I remember, and we got out of there. But no, no, I do hear beautiful things about New Brunswick and the beauty of it for sure. So tell us about your family a little bit. It sounds like you're very busy with family.
Yeah, we do have a full house. So my partner and I have in total six young adults. So our youngest is 20 and our oldest is 25.
Wow. Okay, you guys are staying busy. Um, what do you do for fun?
Oh my goodness. I love to exercise. I love reading. For me, it's probably the thing I enjoy doing the most. And I love dancing and singing and spending time with the family.
Oh, I love that. Give us a little glimpse into what we would find on your bookshelf or your Kindle right now.
Oh my goodness. The book I am reading right now is sitting right here, and it's called No Limits by John Maxwell.
Okay.
So that's the kind of books that you'll find on my bookshelf. You'll find some Chris Robinson, you'll find some Marissa Nielsen, all nonfiction books. So if you want fiction books, you need to go in my daughter's room.
Now Tanya's she's building a bridge for us with that book selection, and we'll get to that in a few minutes for sure. So you're obviously a entrepreneur now, but you have a background in the insurance industry. Tell us how that all started.
Um, s- like a lot of people in the insurance industry, and when I'm talking insurance industry, I'm talking auto, home, and commercial insurance. I ended up in that industry by chance. I studied actually in accounting, and my first job was in a credit bureau, and I then was approached to work in an insurance for an insurance company in an admin role. So I did several roles in the insurance industry. I received my certifications as an insurance professional and as a broker. And my latest role was in a leadership role. And that's when a little bit before that, I guess, I started to realize that I really enjoyed coaching people and teaching and seeing them succeed was something that really gave me a drive to continue helping and serving. And so when I ended up in that leadership role, I continued to coach my managers and their teams, and that's when I decided that, I would love to be able to help more people and expand my territory. So that's when I decided to leave the insurance industry, retire from the insurance industry, and begin my own coaching practice.
I definitely want to get into your coaching practice in a second. So tell me, I know it's hard to narrow down sometimes, but when you were working as an employee and as a manager in the insurance industry, what was the biggest challenge and what was the most satisfying component of doing that?
Biggest challenge it was staff retention
Hmm.
and also self-confidence in my managers with how they lead their teams and their abilities to lead their team. So those were the two challenges that I saw the most. Yeah.
That makes sense. And what was the most gratifying?
Oh, seeing them have those aha moments that they could actually do it and come back to the next meeting and say, I did what you suggested and it worked. And I tried it and it went well. So seeing those successes, hearing about them and seeing their expression, those are the moments that I enjoyed the most.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you gave us a little sneak peek. So 20 years in the
Mhm.
industry, right?
Yes.
What specifically made you have the entrepreneur itch to cross over to the other side, so to speak?
Oh, the entrepreneur itch has always been there. It's a family thing.
Hmm.
My entire family is are entrepreneurs. My uncles, my aunts, my father, my brother. We have that in us. Um, I think it was just a matter of finding the right if finding out my passion and what I wanted to do with it. And yeah, so when I discovered the coaching and that I could actually do that full time, that I could have a certification and do it, that's when I started thinking about it most and realizing that that's exactly what I was looking for and what I was waiting for.
That makes sense. So was there another certification that you were looking at? Guys, if you didn't catch it in the bio, Tanya is a John Maxwell certified speaker, trainer, coach.
Mhm.
And so tell us how did you stumble onto Maxwell? Did you know somebody already in it? How did that come about?
Yeah, I stumbled on the John Maxwell certification. I started listening to Minute with Maxwell. They send when you register, they send you an email every Monday, every week, every day of the week, except for weekends. And so I was listening to that, and at some point it said, "Click here for more information." So I clicked, and I have a backstory to that, but I clicked, and then all of a sudden I spoke to one of their sales representative, Mark. And we spoke for about 6 months before I actually said, you know what? Okay, I'm doing this. I'm going to be certified as a coach, speaker, trainer. So it took me a little while before I actually jumped. And at first, I just did it part time. And I kept working my in my leadership role for the insurance company I was with at the time, or the brokerage I was with. And at some point, I looked at my partner, I looked at Eric, and I said, I can't keep doing both. It's a lot. My leadership role was a lot of hours. And when I got home, I was just exhausted and, um, and too tired to be sitting at a computer trying to build a business on the side. So it was just too much. And finally, he looked at me and he said, okay, what are you waiting for? And I said, well, I was waiting for that.
Ah,
So
yes, you were waiting for that encouragement, right?
so that's when I decided to give my notice and take the leap.
Yeah, now that is a very common, you're not common, that's not what I'm saying. Yeah, that's a very common and great illustration of still working for an employer, starting to feel the need for more. I can help
Mhm.
more people. I can help more people outside of this culture. However good, bad, or indifferent the culture is, I can help more people
Exactly.
doing my own thing. And then, gathering some tools. And in your case, it was the Maxwell team.
Mhm.
Uh, and you know, you get on these calls and you start meeting more people and you start seeing what they're doing and the groundwork that they use to get there. And you start to see a light at the end of the tunnel, and it's not the train.
Yep.
And it starts to burn this passion in you. But you're right. I totally relate because by the time you work, you know, I don't know what you're working. I'm assuming 40, 50 hours a week,
Yep.
and you've got a family too. You come home and after dinner, you know, you're ready to chill for a while. And yet that's the time you knew you needed to be working on your business, but you had hardly anything left over to do, right? And that's fair.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Yeah.
So yeah, getting that green light, so to speak, made all the difference in the world. And what year was this we're talking about joining Maxwell?
So I joined Maxwell January 2022. I got my certification in August 22, and I left my corporate job in November, end of November 2023.
Wait a
So
minute.
it's
What month in 2022?
so my certification itself, I received it in August 22.
Okay.
Yeah.
So 15, 16 months.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's actually not bad. I'm sure,
Well,
I'm sure those days for 15 months were very long, but
yeah, a
in
little
the big
bit.
picture, that's not bad.
Yeah, a little bit, a little bit. It's actually 2 years now that I've been doing this full time.
Yeah, that's awesome. No regrets.
No regrets. No regrets. I love what I do. And it's opened different opportunities for me that I wouldn't have thought about. So it's been great.
So tell us a little bit specifically what you do now. How is it different than when you said you were a broker at one time, right?
Yes, yeah. I was an
So
insurance broker.
how is it different from an agent to a broker to, and I understand it's different. I just want to hear it from you. What do you love about it so much more as your own business?
Between being a broker and what I do now.
Yeah, that's a good place to start. Sure.
Yeah, okay. So between being a broker and an entrepreneur, obviously the big thing is the flexibility, and serving more people, having the ability to expand my territory and help more people. That's definitely very different. But it's very similar in the way that being a broker, you're still helping your clients, you're still guiding them and coaching them to protect their assets, right? So in that way, it's very, very similar. But yes, so that would be the main differences, I think, between the two.
Yeah, and so you as a coach, you're working with medium to large size insurance companies and you're coaching actually who is it in that organization are you coaching? Is it a whole team? Is it one or two people?
It depends on their needs. I've done one-on-one coaching sessions with directors, with CEOs, with management. I've also done group trainings with their teams, so with their teams of underwriters or their sales teams. So it depends on what the need is and who approaches me. I generally like to start with the leadership team because that's where it all begins. When the leadership team is all on the same page, then it's easier to work with their teams afterwards to get them all aligned.
Yeah, that makes sense. So yeah, I would imagine you're doing a significant amount of training. Is that correct?
Yes, yeah, more so, more one-on-one coaching. And right now, my clients are mainly insurance professionals. That's who I work with the most.
Okay, that makes sense. And
Yeah.
your clientele, what percentage would you say is virtual versus in person? And is it all in Canada that's in person? So help us out with how the clientele
Yeah.
breakdown is.
Yeah, absolutely. I would say right now, currently it's 90% virtual. I do have some local clients that we have team sessions face to face. locally here in town. But yeah, I would say 90% of my clients are all virtually. And it's across Canada, it's international. I've had clients in the States as well, but mainly Canada right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Um, do you see any, well, let me ask you this. Any interest outside of the speaking you do with training? Is there any interest in doing more public speaking?
Oh, yes, for sure. For sure. I mean, we all have a story, and I think our stories need to be heard, and there's someone out there that needs to hear it. Yes, definitely. I would love to do more speaking moving forward. I do love the one-on-one coaching. That's where my heart is. But for sure, I'd love to do some more of the public speaking.
Do you have a couple of keynotes in your back pocket?
Yes, yes, I have two right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Have you practiced those live yet?
So I've done some in the past. I've done two in the past. And yes, I do practice on a regular basis now, more than I did before. So I do practice.
Can you give us a glimpse into one of the topics? Because
Oh yeah.
when you're on TEDx one day and you're famous, all those little people want to say, "I knew Tanya when this was, still in development."
Yeah. One of them is I call it my leadership triangle. So it's the three R's that it has helped me guide me through my career in the insurance industry. So it's now you're going to ask me. So it's resourcefulness, it is resilience, and rest. So those are my three R's that has guided me through my career and even today.
I want to make sure I got that right. Resourcefulness,
Yes.
resilience, and
Hmm.
rest.
And rest. Yeah.
I actually love that.
Thank you.
And is this a talk that's easily adaptable to a corporation as well as a group of individuals that just is looking to mature in their personal development?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. That is the three R's can guide you through your career, it can guide you through your personal life. Absolutely.
Yeah, tell us a little more about that rest one. I'm a big proponent of that as well. I had a business coach for about 9 months,
Mhm.
and we had a cohort, and usually, depending on who was there, usually there was three or four of us on the call. This particular day, I think there was three of us in the coach, and I was that typical guy of, I'm just trying to provide for my family, trying to pull myself up by the bootstraps. I'm bootstrapped. I'm just grinding. And I use that word grind, and she
Mm.
stopped me dead in my tracks. She said, "Stop."
Mhm.
She goes, "Do you even know that grind, that word, that term, especially in America, is actually victim mentality?" And I'm like, okay, tell me more. And,
Mhm.
I'm about to get schooled by the master here. And she said, you have no room for anything else. She said, I bet you if we go deeper, you haven't had a hobby in years. And I
Mhm.
looked over the corner at my bass guitar, collecting dust.
Yep.
And I'm like, she's right. That's all I'm doing. I mean, not all I'm doing is working, but I had to learn to rest,
Yeah,
not just my body, but my mind.
absolutely.
And so tell us where your conviction about rest comes from and what does that look like to you?
Yeah, partly it's exactly that. It's taking that time to do what makes us smile outside of work, right? Sometimes a lot of the times leaders will say, "Well, I love what I do, so for me it's not working, it's it's play." And it's okay, and I agree with that to a certain extent, but it's important to step away from the work and actually take time to rest. And whether it's to stop and just think and not do anything, just listen to the silence. whether that's reading, whether that's exercising, but really do take that time to take a breather, and that's where creativity comes alive, right? That's where creativity lights up, and you go, oh, I know exactly what I'm going to do in this particular situation, right? So it's important to take those rest moments. I was listening to a podcast the other day, and they were saying that all the executives in this particular organization were obligated to take one executive day a week, which meant that one day they would take that time to think, take that time to work on projects that were lingering, or take that time to educate, read a book. So that's kind of where I'm going with when I say rest, is to take the time and just think simply.
So I love that, and I'm gonna piggyback off of that for a minute. I do have another Maxwell question for you in a minute.
Yeah.
But to your point, I was invited to an event earlier this week, and that's a whole nother conversation. But I can tell you the Cliff Notes version is I was excited when I was invited, and then I went into all the excuses why not. The
Hmm.
money, the time, it's 3 hours away, the gas, I'm going to probably need a hotel because the event's not going to get over till 9:30 at night. I don't like driving alone at night. I can do it, but that's grinding, push
Yep.
until 12:31 in the morning, with the stops and all that, eating late dinner, whatever. And I found myself starting to make all the excuses. And I finally landed on going, and I'm so glad I did, by the way.
Good.
But I did it right. I got a hotel. It wasn't Taj Mahal, but it wasn't a dump either. It was a nice, decent hotel. And when I was done with the event, I was resting at the hotel. I had one phone call besides my family to, say goodnight. I had one phone call I needed to make with a friend on the West Coast. And that's not really work. I mean, it's a friend. We're catching up on stuff. We talk a little business. And after I told my family good night, I had a little downtime, and instead I think I might have had the TV on low, but I really wasn't paying attention to it, and I was kind of pre-packing for the next morning, and the thought came to me because I said yes to the event. What's on the other side of your yes?
Mhm.
What's God going to do on the other side of you saying yes? And I'm working on a keynote for that now. But that could have came later, but it came because I was resting. It came because I allowed the creativity to come to me. So I'm just piggybacking off your
Yeah.
statement and giving a real life example that just happened to me, less than 48 hours ago.
Fantastic. It's fantastic. And that's exactly what happens. Yeah.
Yeah, but you got to be intentional about it. It won't just happen, that's for sure. It takes work,
Yeah. It does
but
take
not
work because
but
we
not
were
grind.
not grind, exactly. And we're so, as a leader, even in my leadership role, we're so conditioned to fill our calendars. We have so many meetings, we have so many things to do. And I read a book by Juliet Funt, which is called A Minute to Think. And one of the things that she mentions in that book is to take some thinking time throughout your workday. And at first, like everybody else, I went, I don't have time to think. I need to just work and grind and go from meeting to meeting, right? And then I thought, you know what? I'm going to try. So on my schedule, I added, especially before and after my meetings, I added 10, 15 minutes where I blocked it to just think and take a moment to breathe and think about the meeting that was coming or that just finished. And I also added an hour twice a week on my calendar to do exactly that. Just think, plan out my day. What's coming? What can I do about a certain situation? So once I started doing that, and once I was really intentional about it, I was more productive. It
Yeah,
was
I'm sorry, I'd stepped on you there.
it's okay.
There's a couple of gems in what you just said. Because I think we've all done what you said. I don't have time to think. I mean, if
Mhm.
you think about how crazy that sounds,
Yeah.
but we do that. All of us do that. That's not just you. I don't have time for that. And sometimes it's think, sometimes it's the simplest things.
Yeah.
Um, there was somewhere I was going to go with that, but yeah. Oh, so you actually build it into your calendar.
hmm I blocked it. I blocked it. So it was mine. No one can take it. Unless, of course, there's an emergency at work that I need to take care of, but it was on my calendar. It was blocked off. So if someone was looking to book a meeting with me, they could see that that time was not available.
Not available. I love that. I do the same thing with my gym time.
Yeah.
And I just had it happen today. It doesn't happen a whole lot, but there's a certain time I go to the gym that works in my calendar, and I'm usually there hour and 20 minutes.
Mhm.
So I blocked that off. It's a standing appointment, and I had a guy that wanted to meet with me at that time tomorrow. And I'm like, I've got a standing appointment. Can we do this instead? And
Congratulations.
well, I think it's just as valuable what you're saying.
Mhm.
Whatever's important to you,
Yeah.
put it in the calendar. Even if it's just 15 minutes, block it out so no one else has that access to that special time of yours. I love that you do that. That's a gem right there.
Exactly.
Um, so tell us some of the benefits that you have found by joining Maxwell.
Oh my goodness. One, the community. Um, it it's going into an environment. I go to the Maxwell conference twice a year, and it's going to putting yourself into an environment, a safe space where everybody wants to see everybody succeed. Everybody wants to serve and help everybody succeed. So if I have any questions that I have a contract coming up, I'm not sure about whatever it is, how to package it or how to offer it, or if someone's done it before, there's someone in that community that will respond like within seconds. So the support, the community, um, the material that we have available, the tools that we have available to that we can use to serve our own clients, to coach our clients, the coaches that are there to guide us through our certification. Um, there's so many benefits from being part of such a community.
Hmm. Do you happen to have Maxwell members that live in your area?
I do. We unfortunately don't see each other often, but I do have a couple of Maxwell leaders in my community. And there are some that are nearby provinces, Nova Scotia, Ontario, Quebec, that are also not too far away. So yes, there are quite a few of Maxwell leaders around me.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm interested, Tanya, in, so you were very successful in, the insurance industry before you became an entrepreneur. And it sounds like your entrepreneur journey, even though it's still fairly young, is very exciting, very promising. It sounds like you're very content and happy with it
Mhm.
at minimal. Um, but tell us about a time in your life where you didn't feel worthy of the success that you're having now.
Oh, that is such a great question, Steve. I think there are many times in my life where I didn't feel worthy, whether it was, being young and bullied at school, or I was in a relationship where it wasn't very healthy. It was a toxic relationship. Um, but I think the most significant and the one that lingered the longest is my self-talk. Because
Mm,
even after someone does something, or even after someone says words about you to someone else, or to you, negative words, you hear them and you can process them, but it's myself that keeps them in my mind and works through it and then continues the self-talk in my mind. So I would be the person I feel that has let it affect me the most, and which has led me to feel less worthy. So once we realize that it's our own self-talk that's doing it, for me, once I realized that, then I was more intentional about how am I going to react when I have that self-talk. And how am I going to stop it?
Give me one example of a lie that you told yourself.
Oh my goodness. Um, I'm not a great communicator enough to help my clients or speak on stage.
And what's helped you overcome that lie?
By doing it, by putting myself into those situations, by speaking in podcasts, by saying yes to myself and saying yes to the opportunities, even though I didn't feel completely ready for it. That's how we grow.
I like it. There's that yes again, the other side of that yes.
Yes.
Um, yeah, I totally relate to that because I can be that extreme too. Like I'm not good at this. Like it's a demonstrative
Right.
statement. There's no flexibility in it whatsoever.
Hmm.
And I guess I guess this quote is getting pretty widespread. It seems like the last few years, but Henry Ford's the one that quoted the quote, whether you believe you can or you can't, you're right.
Mhm. Yeah,
And
absolutely.
it's so true. Something that helped me was the power of even though statements.
Mhm. Yeah.
So like if we tell ourselves, I'm just not a good speaker. Okay, we've identified how demonstrative that is, how solid that is.
Hmm.
But even though I have a long way to go in my speaking, I am much better than I was a month ago, and I'm on my way. You see how it's not denying the reality that there's work to be done,
Yeah.
but it's also hopeful, and it's also a bridge to I'm not staying here, I'm getting better all the time.
I
So
love that.
yeah, even those statements are a game
Mm.
changer if you practice them.
Yeah, I love that. I love that. And it's funny because I was always the shy and timid person at school or college or at work, but yet I was the first one to put my name down to be part of a pageant or to be training, helping my colleagues, or to speak or to participate in a podcast. But it was because not because I wasn't shy and because I wasn't timid, but it was because I knew that I needed to take those steps to grow and get better and become the person I want to be. So yeah, when you put yourself in
Yeah,
those positions, you grow.
that's right. I love that. And public speaking is, I think a lot of polls show it's the number one fear. Even somebody was telling me the other night that it's even more fearful for a lot of people than death itself. But there's a lot of people that also want to speak publicly. And I think that it's important that that even though is there, even though I'm terrified,
Yeah.
I think tenacity comes in too. Even though I'm terrified to do it, I know I'm called to do it and I'm going to do it anyway. I'm going to do it scared.
Yeah, you got to do it scared. You're right.
Yeah. Then it becomes a little less scary each time.
Exactly. You still get the butterflies, but it's a little less scary.
I speak to my church every single Sunday, and I don't get butterflies in that environment. However, if I took the same sermon and I went to a different church, I'd have those butterflies all over the place.
I'm sure. Yeah.
It's just human nature, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Tell
That means
tell
we
us.
care.
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was going to say that means we care, right? We want to serve the best we can. So it's a good thing.
It is a good thing. It does mean we care. I like that.
Yeah,
Yeah, it means we're not haphazard about it. We're putting our heart into it. That's
exactly.
important.
Hmm.
Tell Tanya everybody where they can learn more about you, find you. I always put the social media links in the description, but I always like them to hear it from you also.
Of course. So my website is where you'll find all the information. I have a few events that are coming up in the new year. So all the information is in the leadership boutique of my website. So my website is tanyadoucet.com. So very simple. I'm also on Instagram under TD Leadership or TD Lead. I'm also on Facebook, and LinkedIn is the social media that I use the most. So I'm on there as well under Tanya M. Doucet or TD Leadership.
Wonderful. Thank you. You guys want to learn more about Tanya, check out those links that I'm going to provide here shortly after the interview for sure. Um, Tanya, any last words of wisdom for our viewers that might be watching this over the next month?
Um, Follow your passion and be true to yourself. As I always say to my kids when they leave the house every single time, I'll say, be good to yourself. Be good to yourself. Be true to yourself and follow your passion.
Follow your passion, be good to yourself. I love it.
Yeah.
You gave me flashbacks to my senior year in high school when Journey's song "Be Good to Yourself" was a hit.
Ah, there we go. Forgot
I'm
about
sure
that song.
I'm showing my age a little bit.
I'll have to go back and listen to it. I forgot about that song.
It's yeah, it was a good song. Um, be good to yourself and follow your passions. Wise advice, Tanya. I so appreciate you sharing your experiences, your positive energy, and your warmth with us today. It's come shining through. It's been my honor to have you with us on the network. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for having me, Steve. It was a lot of fun, and it's my pleasure to be here. Thank you.
You're very welcome. Guys, your story's not over yet. If you woke up today, not everybody did, by the way. Today wasn't promised. Say thank you. Thank you for another day. Choose gratitude. Even if you're in a struggling season, and I don't take that lightly, I've been through many. Gratitude is a game changer. You'd be amazed if you just logged on your cell phone, on a piece of paper, on a post-it, whatever you want to use. Grateful for a warm bed on a cold day.
Mhm.
Grateful for something in the pantry to eat. Grateful for warm pajamas and slippers. Grateful for a car that starts. I mean, you've got five, six things without even giving it a lot of thought. And gratitude accumulates just like a snowball in New Brunswick in January.
Exactly. Exactly.
So
Oh,
we have to choose gratitude.
yeah.
So that's just my words of input for you guys today. I appreciate each one of you. You are worthy of love, respect, and success. Till next time, stay blessed.